Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something that has the power to change your life: letting go. Too often, we hold on to habits, mindsets, and behaviors that hold us back, draining our energy and limiting our potential. But here's the truth: growth begins when we stop doing the things that no longer serve us. Imagine the freedom of shedding negativity, self-doubt, and toxic patterns. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Together, let's uncover the 14 things you must stop doing for yourself to unleash the best version of you. Let's take this empowering journey together. Let me tell you something about self-worth. It's not about what others see in you, it's about what you see in yourself. Many of us walk through life carrying this invisible weight: doubt, fear, and a voice in our head that tells us we're not enough. That voice? It didn't come from you. It came from the world around you, from those who underestimated you, from moments where you stumbled and didn't rise as quickly as you thought you should. But now, it's time to silence that voice. It's time to stop undermining your own worth. Every single one of us has a gift. Maybe yours is your creativity, your resilience, your ability to lift others when they're down. Whatever it is, it's unique and it's powerful. But self-doubt is like a thief in the night. It sneaks in when you're vulnerable, whispers lies into your ear, and convinces you to hold back. It tells you that you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not capable enough. It's time to recognize that thief for what it is: a liar. That voice isn't the truth, and it never was. Now, I want you to think about this. How many opportunities have you let slip through your fingers because you doubted yourself? How many times have you stood on the edge of something great, but held back because you told yourself you weren't ready? You see, life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. The world isn't going to stop and hand you a permission slip to be great. You've got to take that step, even if your legs are shaking. Confidence doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from acting, from doing, from proving to yourself that you can. Negative self-talk is a dangerous thing. It's not just words, it's a belief system. And belief systems shape your reality. If you tell yourself over and over that you're not good enough, you'll start to believe it. And once you believe it, you'll live it. You'll live it. But here's the thing: you have the power to rewrite that narrative. You can train your mind to speak differently to you. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I'm learning to do this." Instead of saying, "I'll fail," say, "I'll grow." Instead of saying, "I'm not enough," say, "I am enough," because you are. Breaking free from self-doubt doesn't mean you'll never feel it again. It means you won't let it control you. You'll feel it, acknowledge it, and then move past it. It's like standing in the middle of a storm, but refusing to let the rain stop you from moving forward. That's strength. That's resilience. And that's how you reclaim your worth. I know some of you are thinking, but what if I fail? What if I put myself out there and I don't succeed? Let me tell you something about failure. It's not the enemy, it's a teacher. Every time you stumble, every time you fall, you learn something. You grow stronger, you gain experience. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of the journey. Don't let the fear of falling stop you from taking flight. You are worthy of success. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of happiness. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Your worth isn't tied to your achievements, your status, or the opinions of others. It's inherent. It's unshakable. But for you to see it, you have to believe it. And for you to believe it, you have to start treating yourself like you're worthy. Stop apologizing for taking up space. Stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Stop second-guessing every decision because you're afraid of making a mistake. You're human. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to be imperfect. That's where growth happens. That's where strength is built. Start showing up for yourself the way you show up for others. Start speaking to yourself the way you'd speak to someone you love. Start seeing yourself through the eyes of someone who believes in you. Because if you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? Your potential is limitless. Your value is immeasurable. But you'll never tap into that potential if you keep holding yourself back. You'll never see your true value if you keep doubting your worth. So let today be the day you draw the line. Let today be the day you stop undermining yourself and start lifting yourself up. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. Don't keep it waiting any longer. Life is too short to carry the weight of relationships that drag you down. You've got dreams, goals, and a vision for your life, but the people you surround yourself with will either lift you higher or pull you under. There comes a point where you've got to be honest with yourself about the company you keep. Are the people in your life adding value to your journey, or are they draining your energy, feeding your doubts, and keeping you stuck in a cycle that's not serving you? Letting go of toxic relationships isn't easy, but it's necessary if you want to grow. Toxic relationships come in all forms. It might be a friend who only shows up when they need something but disappears when you need them. It could be a partner who constantly belittles your efforts or makes you feel like you're not enough. It might even be a family member who uses guilt and manipulation to control you. These people don't wear signs that say they're toxic, but their actions tell the story. You feel it in your spirit. You feel drained after spending time with them, second-guessing yourself, and doubting your worth. That's not love. That's not support. That's a chain holding you back. You've got to recognize that you deserve better. You deserve relationships that uplift you, encourage you, and push you to be the best version of yourself. But to make room for those relationships, you've got to clear out the ones that aren't serving you. That's not selfish. That's self-respect. You're not turning your back on people. You're choosing to protect your peace, your energy, and your growth. And that's okay. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Walking away from people you care about, even when you know they're not good for you, is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. But staying in relationships that stifle your potential hurts. Let me ask you something. Who are you running this race for? Whose path are you following? Because too many people spend their lives looking left and right instead of focusing on their own road. They're chasing a dream that isn't theirs, measuring their worth against someone else's story, and wondering why they feel stuck. Let me tell you, the moment you stop comparing yourself to others is the moment you unlock your full potential. You can't win your race if you're too busy watching someone else's. Each of us was made with a purpose, a unique set of gifts and talents that no one else has. Your journey is yours alone. It's not meant to look like anybody else's. The problem is, society has trained us to compete, to measure success by someone else's yardstick. We scroll through highlight reels on social media, comparing our behind-the-scenes mess to someone else's polished finish. We look at their wins and wonder why we're not there yet. But you don't know their struggles. You don't know what it took for them to get there. And even if you did, it still wouldn't matter. Their success doesn't take anything away from yours. When you compare yourself to others, you're playing a game you can't win. There will always be someone who seems to have more money, more talent, more opportunities. But comparison is a distraction. It takes your focus off what truly matters: your growth, your progress, your unique purpose. Every moment you spend envying someone else is a moment you could have spent building your dream, honing your skills, and moving closer to your goals. Let me tell you something about growth. It's not a straight line. It's messy. It's unpredictable. And it's personal. Your path might take longer, it might twist and turn, but that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're living. Success isn't about how fast you get there or how your journey compares to someone else's. It's about persistence. It's about learning from your struggles and celebrating your wins, no matter how small they seem. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you stronger? Are you wiser? Are you closer to your goals? That's what matters. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Celebrate it. Own it. You're not competing with anyone else. You're competing with yourself, and that's a battle you can win every single day. Understand this: you are enough. Right here, right now, just as you are. You don't need to be like anyone else to be worthy, to be successful, to be loved. Your value isn't determined by how you measure up to someone else. It's determined by the effort you put into becoming the best version of yourself. Now, I know it's not always easy to block out the noise. The world is loud and it's constantly telling you what success should look like, but you've got to tune that out. You've got to listen to your own voice, your own dreams. Trust your journey. Trust that you're exactly where you're meant to be. Focus on your growth, your progress, your goals. Because the truth is, no one else can do what you're here to do. No one else can be you. So stop looking left and right. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Run your race. Stay in your lane. Focus on your unique journey, and you'll find that success isn't about beating someone else. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. Let me ask you something. How long have you been waiting? Waiting for the right moment? The perfect timing? The ideal conditions to take that first step? How long have you been telling yourself not yet, maybe tomorrow, maybe when things settle down? Let me tell you the truth: perfect conditions don't exist. They never have, and they never will. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of challenges. But progress doesn't wait for perfection. Progress is born in the imperfections, in the messy, in the uncomfortable. If you're waiting for everything to align before you take action, you're going to be waiting forever. You've got dreams, you've got goals, you've got a vision of the life you want to create, but none of that means anything if you don't start. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. You might not feel ready. You might feel scared. That's okay. Courage isn't about being fearless, it's about taking action despite the fear. It's about moving forward even when the path isn't clear. Waiting for perfect conditions is just another way of letting fear control you. Don't let it. Let it. Think about all the time you've spent hesitating, overthinking, and planning every little detail, only to find yourself stuck in the same place. Planning is good, but there comes a point where planning turns into procrastination. You're not moving forward, you're just standing still, convincing yourself you're preparing for something. But preparation without action is just another form of avoidance. And avoidance gets you nowhere. Taking action doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out. It doesn't mean you need all the answers or a perfect plan. It just means you start. You start where you are with what you have. You make mistakes, you learn, and you grow. That's how progress works. You don't need to be perfect to make progress, you just need to be willing. Perfection is a myth. It's a trap that keeps you from moving forward. The truth is, you're going to mess up, you're going to stumble, you're going to face setbacks. That's not failure, that's growth. Every mistake is a lesson, every setback is an opportunity to get stronger. The people who succeed aren't the ones who wait for perfect conditions. They're the ones who take action despite the imperfections. They embrace the chaos, they adapt, and they keep moving forward. You've got to trust yourself enough to take that first step. Trust that you'll figure it out as you go. Trust that you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. Because the longer you wait, the more opportunities you miss. The longer you wait, the further you drift from your dreams. Time is precious, and every day you spend waiting is a day you'll never get back. Think about this: if you start today, where could you be a year from now? 5 years from now? What could you accomplish if you stopped waiting and started doing? You don't need the perfect moment, you just need this moment. Right here, right now. This is your time. This is your opportunity to take that first step. Don't let it pass you by. Stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself you're not ready, not good enough, not smart enough. You are enough just as you are. You have everything you need to begin. Will it be easy? No. Will it be perfect? Absolutely not. But it will be worth it. Because every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. Every action you take builds momentum, and momentum is what carries you forward. So stop waiting. Stop procrastinating. Stop looking for perfect conditions. Take action today. Progress doesn't come from waiting for the storm to pass, it comes from learning to dance in the rain. Imperfection is where the magic happens. It's where you grow, where you learn, where you become stronger. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to start. Make that decision today. Your future self will thank you. Let's talk about fear. Not the kind that keeps you safe, but the kind that keeps you small. The kind that whispers in your ear, what if you fail? That fear, the fear of failure, is one of the most destructive forces in our lives. It stops us from taking chances, from chasing our dreams, and from stepping into the greatness we were born for. But here's the thing: failure isn't the enemy. Fear of failure is. If you can abandon that fear, you can unlock a level of freedom and potential you've never imagined. Failure is not the end. It's not the opposite of success. Failure is a teacher, a guide, a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Everyone who has ever achieved anything worthwhile has failed not once, but many times. Those failures didn't define them. What defined them was their ability to get back up, to learn from the experience, and to try again. You see, failure is not falling down, it's staying down. It's choosing not to rise after the fall that truly stops progress. The fear of failure does something insidious. It makes you hesitate. It convinces you to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid risks, to play it safe. And while it might feel safe, it's not. Staying in your comfort zone is a slow death for your dreams. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Growth happens in the struggle, in the uncertainty, in the moments when you take a leap of faith, despite the fear of falling. You might think, if I fail, people will judge me. I'll look foolish, but let me ask you something: whose life are you living? Are you living for the approval of others, or are you living for yourself? People will always have opinions, but their opinions don't pay your bills, they don't fulfill your dreams, and they don't define your worth. What matters is how you see yourself, how you rise after every fall, how you keep moving forward, no matter what. The truth is, Failure is inevitable. You will make mistakes. You will stumble. But every mistake is a lesson. Every stumble is a chance to learn, to grow, to get stronger. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by avoiding failure. They got there by embracing it, by understanding that failure is part of the process. Each failure brings you closer to success because it teaches you what doesn't work, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your resolve. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall over and over again, but they don't stop trying. They don't sit down and say, "This isn't for me." They keep getting up until they figure it out. Somewhere along the way, as we grow older, we lose that resilience. We start to believe that falling means we're not good enough, that failure is a reflection of our worth. But it's not. Failure is proof that you're trying, that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, that you're pursuing something bigger than yourself. To abandon the fear of failure, you've got to shift your perspective. Stop seeing failure as a negative. Start seeing it as a necessary part of growth. Start understanding that failure isn't permanent. It's a moment, a snapshot in time, not the whole story. And you are the author of that story. You get to decide what happens next. Will you let failure define you, or will you use it as fuel to push forward? You've also got to trust yourself. Trust that you have what it takes to bounce back. Trust that you're strong enough to handle setbacks, to learn from them, and to keep moving. Confidence doesn't come from never failing. It comes from knowing that you can rise after every fall. It comes from knowing that you're capable of overcoming anything life throws your way. Another key to abandoning the fear of failure is to stop setting perfection as your standard. Perfection is an illusion, a lie we tell ourselves to justify our hesitation. You don't need to be perfect to succeed. You just need to be willing to start, to take risks, to embrace the messiness of the process. Progress is messy. Success is messy. But it's in that messiness that you find growth, strength, and breakthroughs. Surround yourself with people who encourage you to take risks, who remind you that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone. The right people will celebrate your efforts, even when the results don't go as planned. They'll remind you of your worth, of your potential, and of the fact that every great success story is built on a foundation of failures. Lastly, remember, this fear of failure is not something you conquer once and for all. It's something you face every day. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, every time you take a risk, that fear will be there. But each time you choose to act in spite of it, you weaken its grip. Each time you take a step forward, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than the fear. Failure isn't something to avoid, it's something to embrace. It's not a roadblock, it's a stepping stone. The only real failure is in not trying at all. So let go of the fear. Take that leap. Trust yourself. And remember, every fall is just another chance to rise stronger than before. So as you step forward in life, remember, this failure is not the end, it's a beginning. It's a sign that you dared to try, that you had the courage to dream, and the strength to take action. Don't let fear hold you back from your greatness. Each stumble is a lesson, every fall a stepping stone to something greater. Trust yourself, embrace the process, and keep moving forward. The only true failure is in not trying at all.